Hello, students. Today we are going to begin chapter 4, Evolution of Writing and Communication System. Can you imagine a world without writing, without numbers and printing? It is really very difficult. All human progress has been made possible due to writing, use of numbers, and printing. Early human beings passed their knowledge to the next generation orally. They had developed the power of speech and they used to speak orally and transmission of knowledge used to take place. But it was very difficult to remember everything. So, to solve this problem, they started drawing and slowly they started writing. So, they expressed their feelings by drawing on the walls of the caves they lived in. Early men used to live in caves and they used to draw on the walls using burnt wood. And many of these pictures, as you can see in the picture given here, showed people hunting animals. But drawing is not easy. It took a long time to draw things. So gradually they learnt to use symbols. Now symbols were easier to make and they could be done quickly. So slowly symbols led to the development of scripts. Now we had different kinds of scripts coming up slowly. These are forms of writing. So the earliest script or earliest form of writing was developed by the Sumerians. It is known as cuneiform. It represented words with symbols made of wedge shaped strokes. Wedge shaped means V shaped. As you can see in the picture here, the symbols are V shaped. So the word cuneiform itself means wedge shaped. These writings were impressed on wet clay. So they used to have maybe tablets or seal like things made of clay. On wet clay they used to write using a reed pen. Now reed is a kind of aquatic plant which grows near or in water. They are tall plants and they are grass like. So they used the wood of this plant and they used it as pen, and the wet clay was then baked hard in the sun. Now this was the earliest form of writing. Later Egyptians used a system of picture writing which was known as hieroglyphic. So hieroglyphics was a system of writing which was started by Egyptians. Now it consisted of pictures. Even today Chinese and Japanese scripts, they are based on pictures. You might have seen Chinese writing scripts. So it represents pictures and it is very difficult to understand for us. And in our country, India, the oldest script was in use during the Indus Valley civilization. It is found on the seals of those days. You can see in the picture, Indus Valley seals are there. This script has not been deciphered as yet. Means the historians have not been able to solve the puzzle of what these writings mean. But still the pictures, they convey some meaning. They tell us about the life of that time. Brahmi script came after this. Now most of the Indian scripts have been derived from Brahmi script. They come from Brahmi script. But Hindi, which is written in Devanagari script, and many other scripts are based on sound. They are based on sound. Hindi is written in Devanagari script. The Kakha Gaga which you learn in Hindi, that is called Devanagari script. We also use Urdu, Persian, and Arabic scripts in India. In India, we also have Urdu, Persian, and Arabic scripts. So, this is the story of writing. Now, next, we are coming to the story of numbers, how numbers came into being. Thousands of years ago, before man had invented numbers, people used pebbles. Pebbles are small stones and sticks for counting. Later on, fingers were used for counting. Like even today, when you were small, you used to count using fingers, and it is still very popular using fingers to count in many languages. In different parts of the world, various ways of writing numbers soon developed. After counting using sticks and pebbles and fingers, slowly a form of numbers, writing numbers, started coming up. The Sumerians used special shapes, but they counted in 60s. Their counting was in 60s. The Romans used 7 letters of their alphabet to write numbers. Now, do you know in English we use Roman script? So, what is the alphabet used in English? A, B, C, D, and that is in Roman script. So, the Romans, they used 7 of these letters to write numbers, and these letters were M, D, C, L, X, V, and I. This is in descending order. Now, in the picture, these have been put in ascending order. You can see starting from 1, I, 5, that is V, X, that is 10, L, 50, C, 100, D, 500, and M, 1000. So, how much? So, you can see this is the blue one is Roman. These are Roman numerals. You must have learnt in maths Roman numerals. The number system we use today is called Hindu Arabic system. This system was developed in India, and the concept of zero was also discovered in India. So, in the picture 1, 5, 10, 50, 100, 500, and 1000, they represent Hindu Arabic numbers. The Arabs took this system of numbers, that is numbers from 0 to 9, to Europe, and slowly the whole world started using this system. So, with this, we move to the next topic, that is the art of printing. Now, we got numbers, we got alphabets, we got scripts. Now, what was needed? We needed to print books. So, it took a long time to perfect the art of writing. So, this did not happen in one day. It took a long time, and many books came to be written by hand. It started as writing by hand. This was slow and laborious job. It needed plenty of effort. The people called scribes copied books by hand. Can you imagine? We had special people called scribes who used to copy books by hand. So, as a result, books were rare and costly. People had to spend a lot of time at centers of learning where they could find books. And slowly, the idea of printing came into existence. China was the first country to develop the art of printing, but it did not prove popular as the Chinese script was not easy. It was very difficult to understand. The scripts which used pictures. It was in Germany that the first printing press was made. Johann Gutenberg invented this first printing press, and the first book to be printed by him was the Bible. It was printed on sheep's skin. So, isn't it amazing to learn all these things? Yes, the printing press brought about a revolution in the field of knowledge. The picture of first press is put there, and this printing press brought a revolution in the field of knowledge. And why? Because now it was possible to produce more and more books at a very low cost. Books started to become less costlier and hence easily more easily available for all. Now we move to communication. We have finished the story of printing and writing. So now we are moving to communication. The process of sending and receiving messages is called communication. Different means by which we can communicate with people, which means we can exchange messages, we can give messages and receive messages. These means are called means of communication. Early man used drawings, signs, symbols, signals, etc. to communicate with each other. Now we had drummers and runners, which were used as messengers, and later pigeons were also used to send letters. Letters were tied to their feet and neck and they flew to the desired destination. But these methods took a long time. It was not easy at all to use these methods means of communication. And today there are many fast means of communication. The advancement in the means of communication has made the exchange of messages and information possible at the press of a button. The modern means of communication have brought the people closer to each other, and the world has become a small place now. Right? So you can easily talk to people living in other countries. And does it take time? Does it need effort? No. You only need to press the button of your mobile phone or your phone, and within seconds you are able to talk to your relatives, to your uncle, aunts, to your friends, to your brothers and sisters living in other countries or in other parts of India. So hasn't world become a very small place to live? And we can even have video talking, we can call, we can have video call, we can look at them and we can talk. So the world has advanced a lot. So let us read about various means of communication. Now we have different means of communication. It includes postal communication, telegraph, telephonic communication, and then we have mass communication. And mass communication includes radio, cinema, television, advertisements, and computer. So we will learn these one by one. We begin with postal communication. Now, postal communication is the most popular means of communication. We write our messages on postcards, inland letters, or plain paper, and we put them in a stamped envelope. We write the address and pin code numbers on the letters so that they reach the destination quickly and they reach the correct place. All these things like inland postcard stamps we get from the post office, and we also can send parcels from one place to another via post office. We also have a kind of communication called a telegram, which was used to send short and urgent messages through telegraph. Postal services can be private also, and these private postal services are called courier services. Some courier services are DTDC, First Flight, Blue Dart. You must have heard their names. They bring your things when you buy online. You get things from Amazon or from Flipkart. These couriers, they bring the parcels home. Now, via the post office, we can also send parcels quickly using speed post. And when we want to write or send letters to people living in other countries, we use aerograms. Now, where do we put the letters? In India, we have different letter boxes for dropping different mails. Red letter boxes are meant for collection of mails which are not local, which are to be sent outside the city where we are living. We use blue boxes. Blue boxes are for mails addressed to metro cities like Mumbai, Delhi, Kolkata, and Chennai. And when we want to send letters or mails to state capitals, we use yellow boxes. And which box will be used for local mail? Green boxes. So you can see in the picture we have red, blue, green, yellow I cannot find there. So yellow boxes are also there. Letters are sorted according to the place where they have to go, and then mail is dropped in proper letter box. We move to telegraph. The telegraph was invented by Samuel Morse. Through the telegraph, a message can be sent within a short time to a person in any part of the world. The message is sent in the form of codes. And what are these codes? Codes consist of dots and dashes. With the invention of telegraph, sending and receiving messages had become easier and quicker. You can see the telegraph machine put there, and using this machine, messages were sent in the form of dots and dashes. They were codes and which could be deciphered by the receiver. However, nowadays telegraph is not used anymore. With the advent or with the coming of mobile phones, telegrams were stopped. Telegraph was introduced in India in 1853 and it was used for 160 years. But now, since 2013, it has been stopped or discontinued. To send a message immediately, one can use a telephone to talk to the concerned person. Through telephones, we can directly talk to a person anywhere in the world, and we can talk to India using STD, that is subscriber trunk dialing facility, and we can talk to someone staying in other countries using the ISD or international subscriber dialing. We also have mobile phones and cellular phones using which we can talk from any place to, even when we are traveling we can talk, because landline earlier telephone used to have cables, wires attached to it, and they were called landline phones. Even now we have landline phones, but mobile phone is wireless. It is not connected to any wire, so mobility becomes very easy. We can also send SMS or short messaging service via the mobile phone. And nowadays mobile phones are called smartphones. All of you must be knowing, you must be playing video games, mobile games and all. I know all of you play mobile games, and that is possible only via smartphones, which have facilities like photography, voice recording, internet, phone banking, FM radio, and games are not mentioned there. So you also play games, and smartphones help you in playing games. We also have iPhones, which were launched in 2007. This belongs to Apple company, and all of you must be knowing this. It also helps us in text messaging, has portable media player, a camera phone, and we can use the internet and web browser for sending emails and net surfing and all. It also has advanced video recording and playing facilities. They are more advanced iPhones, but we also have other smartphones nowadays which are also very advanced. So many we have, and I'll not tell the names. I know all of you know the names of so many mobile phones. We can also send messages through fax. Fax is another way to communicate. Here we send a printed matter or we send pictures through a fax machine. We have a fax number, separate number, like telephone number we have fax number, and then like telephone we have a machine, fax machine, which is used to send the exact copy of the document, which reaches the receiver instantly. As soon as you send from here, the picture will reach the person whom you want to send. And urgent documents, these things are sent via fax. Many official letters are sent via fax. So with this we come to the end of today's tutorial. In next part, that is part 2, we will be learning about mass communication and communication satellites. So for now, we will take leave, and you all be safe, keep learning and keep smiling.